Hello everyone, welcome back to the official Nerdy channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing LEGO Star Wars set number 75302 Imperial Shuttle. This set has 660 pieces, and yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into the box art. So starting off here with the box art, we are presented first and foremost with the Imperial Shuttle itself, and then it has a beautiful background. My goodness, you know, it's got the Death Star 2 in the background there with an explosion, and it's got some TIE fighters kind of coming up from the bottom, and then it's just got this beautiful space background. I absolutely love it. And then of course it's got, you know, Darth Vader, LEGO Star Wars, you know, just standard issue stuff when it comes to box art. Then it's also got, you know, the minifigs, again standard issue stuff. And then over on this side here, we've got, you know, just some greebling, but you'll also see that it has a tab right here. See, so you can like fold it in there once you're done with the box or whatever, so you can have it on display or whatever, and it's not going to be looking ugly with like tear marks. So then right here on the back, we've of course got LEGO Star Wars again, and then we've got some of the playability features of it, which, you know, is shown off here. You know, the wings go up and down, the cockpit opens, you got the stud shooters, then the top like flips open and stuff. So anyway, super cool stuff in the back, and then, you know, obviously just some different arrangement of the figures. So yeah, with that, we will move on to the minifigs. Starting off here with the minifigs, we've got the Imperial officer from the set, and you can see he's got, you know, nice black suit on with a super cool belt, and his hat has the little Imperial insignia up top there. And then, just because of the shadows, I'll take his hat off. And then he's got a pretty simple face with one of those little microphones right there. And then he's also been given a small blaster. And then on the back, we've got some more simple printing just for his suit. And no back face, because that would look kind of wonky with a hat that doesn't cover, you know, his whole head. So yeah, that's the Imperial officer. Without further ado, let's go right into the next minifig. Up next here, we've got Luke Skywalker, and this is really good minifigure right here. You know, of course he's got his lightsaber, and he actually also comes with some handcuffs that you can use to handcuff him and take him to Palpatine. So anyway, what we've got here, you know, he's got his lightsaber obviously, and then let me just take that out real quick. There we go. And then you can see he's got a black hand in, that's basically just capturing that he has a glove on right there. And then he's also got his, you know, regular hand, because that hasn't been chopped off. And then you'll also notice that there isn't any leg printing on it, which is, you know, kind of disappointing, but, you know, torso print is really good. Then on the back, you know, basically it's just simple robe design on the back there. Up next here, we've got Darth Vader, who is objectively the best minifigure in this whole set. Yeah, so he comes with his lightsaber, obviously, and then he's got his cape, which this one, actually, interestingly enough, is not the like fabric that they've been using lately with the capes. It isn't the like softer fabric, it's like the papery type one that they used to use. So anyway, interesting thing there. And then you'll also notice, you know, he's got, first of all, let me just take his lightsaber out. There we go. He's got, you know, some really good printing on the torso and some printing going down into the legs that show, you know, his Darth Vader-ness. Isn't that a fun word? I think it's a fun word. You know what else I think is fun? His helmet, because it's like a two-piece thing. You can like take off part of the helmet like that, and then that will show his face, and then it'll also leave his little like breathing thing right there. I don't know exactly what it's called. Then on the back there, you've got some basically just some scarring on the back from when he was burned up on Mustafar. Isn't that fun? So then taking off his head and his breathing thing and his cape, you will see that on the back there is still some printing. Not a whole lot going on, because obviously he's going to be covered up with his cape, but it should be noted that there is some back printing. So, you know, if you want that out of your Darth Vader minifigure, then there you go. Before I go too far into the instruction manual, I just want to say that this came in a like box type thing to like keep it straight, which is really quite lovely. Yeah, I really like this. I hope that they continue to do this. I don't remember this being in any other set before, but you know what? I guess that's the thing, and it's quite lovely. So we'll grab the instruction manual real quick, and then I'll kind of explain what's going on. So first of all, it actually has some printing on it. Isn't that lovely? They've kind of been steering away from that for whatever reason. I don't know why they would do that. But, you know, then you've got, you know, your just regular instruction manual stuff. And with this one, I like this one better, actually, than a lot of the other ones, because it doesn't have the weird, like, celebratory things at the end. It doesn't have the, like, you're this far through it. I mean, I don't mind it's like you're this far through the build. I don't mind that one, but the weird celebration thing at the end is kind of cringy, not gonna lie. But yeah, so just the instruction manual looks good. It's got like a little bit of a bind right there to it. You know, it's not just it's not just like folded over or whatever. I don't really know how to explain it, but you know, it's got a nice firm bind to it, which I really like. So, without further ado, let's hop right into the build. And here we have the Imperial Shuttle in all of its glory. So, I'm going to be judging this off of several different aspects. So I'm first going to start off with just the way it looks, and then I'll go on from there. So first of all, you'll notice, you know, a couple of ugly things right off the bat. So first you've got the wing, right, just the back of it. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. I get that this isn't a display set, but at the same time, I don't know, it's ugly. At least on that bit right there. And then you've also got a bit right here, you know, with the stud shooter that doesn't look the best, and it just kind of looks blocky on the bottom right there. So that bit I don't particularly like. This wing though, I really like. I think that looks really good, works really well. I like the cockpit area too. It's got this nice, sleek design to it, really straight on there, right there. And then also, turn to the back, you've got really good engines, really like those. And then you'll also notice that they've got two little moving things. Now, I don't actually know what these are, so someone in the comments please let me know what they are, because, you know, I like to expand my Star Wars knowledge. I don't know if this is in the movie or not, but I would assume it is because they put it in, but I suppose I don't know for sure. So someone in the comments, let me know, and I will be happier. There we go. So then we'll unfold the wings just to show you how that looks. There we go. And I think it looks pretty good in its flying state. You've got the little yellow bits on the wings. You know, you've got that on the very tip up here too. If I can show the camera, there we go. But yeah, you've got that on all the wings, and then you can, you know, display that if you have some sort of a stand or something. I don't really have a stand, so I can't display it this way. But, you know, if you have a stand, I would recommend displaying it this way. Also, something that I just remembered, these little bits right there and there, I have not seen those pieces before, and they are really cool. So yeah, anyway, just small things, you know, that I enjoy. You know, and then I also like the gun designs right here. You know, how it folds up right, and then once you fold it down, it just lines up perfectly, and it just looks really good. And I really like it. So I'm going to put it in its landing position again, and I'm going to now basically just talk about, you know, the playability of this thing. So, you know, like I said earlier, or just a little bit ago, I suppose, it's got a really good flying position, looks really good, and it's really solid when you pick it up, so it's not really going to break if you're like really playing with it. I mean, I'm shaking that thing pretty well, and nothing's falling apart, so you can, you know, swoosh it around or whatever you want to do with it. And then also you can flip the cockpit up like that, and then you can set your minifig in there. You can have them fly it around, and then of course you've got the stud shooters, one on that side, one on that side, and then you can shoot those off into the blue. That went behind my desk. I'll have to fix that later, I suppose. But anyway, then you've also got, you know, these two little floppy things, like I said before. I still don't know what they are. Maybe they're guns, I don't know. But you can move them around if that's a play feature. Something else you can do is flip this thing back. And something I like about it is it has a locking mechanism. So, unlike the Bad Batch shuttle, which I have a review for, it's just not out yet, this actually has a lock. So, it's got a little lever right there, see, that you, like, flip up, and then it opens. See? So then it's got that little latch right there, and I really do like that because it's not gonna fly out of your hand, you know, if you're holding it like this, you know, you're swooshing it around. It's not going to fly out or anything. Not until you undo that latch. And the latch has got a pretty nice feeling in the hand too. And then inside here, you know, not much going on. You know, you can fit a couple minifigs in there. It's just going to be a bit crammed. But yeah, not much going on the inside. There we go. But yeah, overall, this is like, it's not really a spectacular playset, I would say. There's not all that much going for it play-wise. You know, you can swoosh it around, you can shoot your stud shooters, you know, put your minifigs in, but other than that, there's not really anything going on. No like secret hatches or anything. So anyway, that's kind of disappointing, but I mean, it makes sense. Something I forgot to mention with the playability features is it's got some landing gear, but the landing gear really isn't the greatest. Like, this little thing that sticks down is part of the landing gear. I don't know why they did it this way. And then, like, these little white bits right there and there, those are also its landing gear. So man, I really don't like the landing gear, because it's so easy to just knock it back and forth or whatever, you know. Sometimes, you know, if you hit it at the side, you know, when you're trying to do that, it'll flop over. But yeah, I really don't know what they were thinking when they did this sort of landing gear. I don't know. I feel like they could have done a better job, even with just like a 2x2 brick. Like, you'd be able to do that, and it would work so much better. Anyway, I don't know why they did it that way, but, you know, I guess that's a thing. So, next part I'm going to jump into here is just my opinion of this set, and whether I think it's good or bad. So, I would say that it definitely has its flaws. It definitely has its flaws. You know, it's got some ugly bits to it, and it's got some pretty bad landing gear. But overall, I think this set is super cool. It's not the best set in the world, but I think it's a fun set. I think it looks pretty good despite its issues. And something else that I didn't mention earlier is it doesn't have any stickers. This piece right here is printed, and that is super nice because it means that you don't have to bother with putting it on there and then you take it off because it wasn't straight, and it's just a whole thing. But this doesn't have any of that, so that definitely bumps it up in my book. And then also the box has you know, tape instead of the thumb tabs. Definitely like that. But yeah, overall, I do like this set. I'd give it maybe a, I don't know, 7 out of 10. So, it's good. I enjoy it. It's not my favorite, but I do like it, and I think that a lot of kids will enjoy it. They will enjoy setting up those scenes from Return of the Jedi, and I think it's got some pretty good minifigs too. So, with that, I will see you guys in the next video.